Hi guys. It's been quite a while since I posted anything, and this is tilted. Welcome to my makeshift studio, aka my bed. This is the best light in the house. I wanted to post something on how I'm doing. It's been almost a month. It's July the 1st, post Camino. And I also wanted to provide some insight into kind of some strategies for the re-entry period of your life. And this is based on what I've been trying to do, because the struggle is real, coming back to our everyday lives as much as we love them. So, an update on how I'm doing. How am I doing? I'm doing really well, actually. I miss the Camino a lot. It's really challenging to go from walking every single day for 30 to 35 days to reality, which for a lot of people, including myself, involves sitting at a desk. So that has been a definite challenge for me. And another one of the struggles that I've had has been readjusting my brain to multitasking. I call it multitasking, but really it's just the constant bombardment of thoughts that we're faced with on a daily basis. I'm assuming it's the same for men/fathers, but when you have kids and you're working, you've just got this ongoing plethora of, you need to do this, you need to remember this, you need to, it doesn't ever really end. And when you're on the Camino, you're in this really sheltered bubble. I call it a bubble, where your only real task is to put one foot in front of another and let the journey sink in, really. So that has also been a colossal adjustment. And I confess I'm not that great at keeping up with the bombardment of thoughts on a daily basis. I write a lot on my hand, though I did do that before, because I'm just worried that a thought will come in, and if I don't act on it, I'm going to forget. And it's happened several times. I forgot that it was my daughter's end of school picnic. Managed to salvage that one just in the nick of time. And I forgot my dentist appointment, and not earth-shattering stuff, but it's humbling. So part of me is reflecting on that, and I believe I need to slow down and possibly let go of some stuff and make some changes, because I don't want to keep up the way that I was keeping up before. So that's kind of an update on how I'm feeling and how I've been doing. I'm going to post a video that I made, I think 3 or 4 days in. I came home from work and I was lying on my bed, and I just felt inspired to kind of barf out my feelings, and I think I still have it. So I'm going to do that. And now I want to give you some strategies. I wrote them down to stay organized for entering back into your vortex. And these are what I've been doing. I'm just a regular person. I have no idea if this is going to be the same for you, but yesterday I had the opportunity to speak with a really cool guy named Justin Snow, who has his own podcast/radio show called Camino Radio. It's an app, actually. And we were chatting about the Camino. I call it the Camino Hangover. He referred to it as just possibly like a depression that actually is a legitimate thing for any kind of long-term-ish travel. When you go back to your real life, it can be a significant challenge. So these are my suggestions, and I've written them down in random order. There are 7 of them, lucky 7. So my first tip is to unequivocally keep your body moving. Keep it moving. One thing that was profound for me on the Camino was recognizing that our bodies are meant to move. We are not supposed to be a sedentary people. And I am trying every day, if I can, to be as active as possible, because not only does it generate all of the endorphins and whatnot to kind of thwart off regular depression, but it feels good to maintain that physicality, that stamina that we had by the end of the Camino. I did try walking to work a few times. It's not practical. My work is a 3-hour walk from my house. So round trip, that would be 6 hours. I just got to get rid of this. I can't sustain that. But I did do it, I think 3 or 4 times. And I somehow had a system where I was only walking one way. And those were amazing days. It's not like it was a particularly inspiring walk. I'm walking through town and kind of sort of with traffic, and in some instances on a highway. I probably looked like a homeless person. I did wear my hat. But the point I'm trying to make is keep your body moving in whatever capacity that means to you. The next number 2 tip I have is to stay in touch with your Camino tribe. So my tribe was kind of intermingled. There were 3 or 4 different versions involving kind of an overlap of the same people. So Karina, John, Liz, and Jorg, they're all on my WhatsApp because they were when we connected in Spain. And we are definitely trying to stay in touch with each other as we go back to our real lives. And that's a huge help, because if there's anybody that understands what you're going through, it's your people. It's very difficult to generate any kind of sympathy from the folks back home, because they don't understand, nor should they. They haven't done a 30 to 35 day reflective trip. And I mean, really, I would not actually make my missing the Camino that known, because no one cares, A, and B, it was really a gift to have that much time to yourself, and I don't want to rub it in. So the people that you connected with on the Camino, even my friend Joanne from Florida. Hi, Joanne. We have a vested interest in each other's lives, and we have told each other some of our most compelling secrets, and we care. So staying in touch with them and not having it be a one and done kind of friendship, for me, really matters, and that's actually helping. And this sounds terrible, but it is kind of comforting to know that I'm not the only one who is feeling a bit of the Camino hangover. We all feel it. Even my friend Mikko from Finland, he's got some stuff he's working through, and I get it, because I am too. So stay in touch with your Camino tribe. The third tip, number 3, that I have is, for me, it's a really personal one, and it's such a little shift in your perspective, but it's to try and make yourself more aware of the unnoticed beauty that's in your everyday life. So what do I mean by that? Well, I'm from a small town in Canada, small being around 100,000, and I grew up here. Then I moved away, then I came back, and it's kind of the town that we sort of love to hate. It gets a bit of a bad rap for a lot of reasons, but it's actually incredibly beautiful. We're up in a northern part of Canada, surrounded by the boreal forest on the Canadian Shield, and there is beauty everywhere. And one of my observations on the Camino was, which, it was extraordinary to me. Like, there's so much beauty on the Camino. I couldn't even believe it. But in talking with Justin yesterday, we kind of pinpointed that it's really the slowing down of your life, the slowing down of your pace, that allows you to really take in everything that's already there. And I have been mindful of that since being home. Even just sitting in my backyard and listening to the robins and watching the chipmunks that drive me crazy in my garden. It's lovely. We have beauty in our own backyard. So you don't need to go halfway across the world to find that beauty. You just need to open your eyes. It is everywhere, and it's part of making every day a joy. As hokey as that sounds, it's something I'm trying to do. So number 4. This one is a big one. For me, it's important that I take time to reflect on the lessons that I've learned and to figure out what I can incorporate here. So when you think about your Camino, you probably had your own epiphanies and big realizations. And the key is to see what you can bring back to your life. And totally lost my train of thought. Wow. Oh gosh. See what you can bring back into your life that will make a difference. We all set out on the Camino for one reason or another, and to go and have your mind be like that and your heart be like that sponge that absorbs all this goodness, and not to insert any of those changes or ideas that you have would be such a shame. So I'm actually still working on that. I started writing actually on the plane. I started writing on the plane. I was typing into my phone on what the Camino meant to me and what ideas I wanted to bring into my real life. And I'm still processing it. Like, I think I got home on June the 4th. It's July 1st, and I'm still processing it. Part of the issue is having the time to stop and just let things sink in amidst the pressures of all the things that we have to do in our real life. But there are some things that I'm incorporating back here. So one of them is surrender, which is a real personal one for me, as I am a classic planner control freak. And although that's served me well with many things in my life, it's also caused me no end of hardship, from trying to run my husband's life and my kids' lives and just constantly trying to manipulate the universe to get what I think that I want and need. What I learned on the Camino was there is another way, and that is to just kind of let go. And it was so refreshing. It was really, really refreshing. Actually, I have a book recommend. I'm going to see, where is it? I have some books keeping my phone up. I don't see it, so I can't hold it up. But one book that I would recommend for anyone who might be a control freak is The Surrender Project. It's either called The Surrender Project or The Surrender Experiment by Michael Singer. He also wrote The Untethered Soul. Excellent read. So I read that book prior to going on the Camino, and it was part of my inspiration to just let the Camino dictate how the 35 days were going to go. And that was amazing for me. It was challenging because I have a tendency to want to just get in there and make things happen. But allowing myself to be surprised and seeing where the journey took me was such a gift. So I am trying to do that in my real life right now. It doesn't mean that I'm just aimlessly meandering and have no real direction. It just means that I'm not getting attached to any particular outcome per se, because how can I possibly know everything that's best for me? And we could have a whole chapter on that. So where am I? Number 5, find a way to simplify and pare down your life. So what can you let go of? Another big one for me. When I came home, you probably felt this too, but I had this insane desire to just sell the house, move into a tiny home, and live a minimalist life. Living out of a backpack really taught me that there's so much that we don't need. We have all this stuff in our lives, and part of it's a reflection of who we are. It's supposed to give an indication of our personalities, things that like knickknacks in our house and even the way we decorate. And I just had this desire to just get rid of it all. Now, that's not really practical when there are other people in your lives and they like their stuff. They like the house they live in. They like their abundance of stuffed animals. My husband, I'm pretty sure, still has shirts from the 1990s that he just will not let go of. Even though I know that I'm looking at this hideous brown vest, it's never coming back in style, and yet he wants to keep it. Same with that Drink Till She's Cute t-shirt, which I just want to get rid of. But I have actually managed to do some purging, and that's been really cathartic. The less I feel burdened by stuff, the freer I feel. So, and for me, it's also not just physical stuff. It's letting go of the things that, or even decisions that I in my previous pre-Camino days would feel compelled to make. It feels really selfish to let go of that stuff, but to me, it's a self-preservation thing. Like, I'm not going to give my precious weekend time, which is the only time I see my husband because he works so much, for to anybody, unless we're going to be doing it together, because I never see him. Where before, I might actually, go to that candle party or what have you. I can't do it. There's only so many hours in a day now, and I'm prioritizing what matters to me and who matters to me in my life. I am totally rambling. Oh my God. Okay, number 6, plan your next Camino. It feels so scandalous to say that, but I know you know what I mean. So I knew in around day 4 or 5, oh, there's an ant on my wall. Nice. I knew around day 4 or 5 that I was going to be back at it again. And I'm really hoping that mostly the people who are watching this are just those who've been on the Camino, because you guys will understand and everyone else might not. The journey continues, and there's so much left to discover. And it's not just going to be in Spain, but sometime in the next year, it's my mission to actually go back and maybe bring one of my girls or my husband with me, if that's a possibility. And the planning and the dreaming and the thinking of all that kind of fuels me. So I know you know what I mean. Plan your next adventure, whatever it is. Make sure that you still live in the present and that you don't wish your life away. But that's definitely, I think, part of an antidote to dealing with the Camino hangover. And the last, number 7 one I have is, it's a big one. It's to encourage others to take time to embark on their own journey. So I've heard a lot of really kind things from people, like, oh, it was so inspiring what you did, and yada yada. I want everyone to have that kind of joy. So I will talk about the Camino with anyone and everyone, and I will take all the time in the world, because I think that it's such a gift-giving journey. My friend Cindy, I think, is going to do a Camino in the next few years, and I can't wait to help her with that and get her excited. Um, and anyway, it doesn't have to be a Camino. I think encouraging your friends to take time off of their treadmills and their busy lives for themselves, it is a difficult thing to do. Like it, especially when you're a parent and you're working a lot, finding a way to step out of your life is a real kind of head spin, because it does feel unnatural and selfish, but we need it. We are better people for our people when we have a chance to recharge our batteries and let new things in, to be fair. So that's it. This is, holy cow, I've spoken for 20 minutes. I've rambled for 20 minutes. Those are my tips. And if anyone has questions about the Camino or how it's been going, or, packing or anything, just shoot me a line. I love to talk all things Camino. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, it's 1 week post returning home from the Camino, and I'm lying in my bed. I just got home from work. It was a long day, and I have like a massive, I'm calling it a Camino hangover. I know, woe is me, poor me, blah, blah, blah. And that's not what this is about. This is just keeping it real about re-entry into the real world. I think the biggest challenge for me is going from having nothing but empty, open space in my brain to be able to think and contemplate about new things that come in, and to just being pulled back into the vortex where, there's 50 different directions happening all at once. Like track and field meets and guidance of counselors, appointments, I can't even talk, and work and audits and laundry and house stuff and lawn mowing, and the dog needs to go to the vet, and the bird is molting, and it's all good. It's part of the circus of my beautiful but crazy life. But adjusting to it, going back into the realness of it, having been cushioned in that like safety net is, it's a challenge. I'm so freaking tired, and I shouldn't be. I also have this compelling urge to walk, and right now, I mean, I could go for a walk. It's 6:45 at night, but no one's had dinner, so I gotta feed people and do a bunch of stuff around here, and this is how we fall lower on the priority list, and that's just a fact of life. So yeah, this is the Camino hangover. I am still in touch with Karina and Jorg and Liz, and John sent the most descriptive and eloquent WhatsApp this morning about his arrival back in Wales. I just love that we're all still in touch. And life is good, and it will go on, and all is fine. It's just the reality of integrating back into the real world. Haven't watched any news, turned on the media at all. I haven't read all the doom and gloom headlines that are coming into my inbox because I'm still in that protective bubble and I'm enjoying that. The only thing I did do was watch the Raptors game last night, which obviously I had to. And then when the commercials for all of our politics started coming on, I just went, oh my gosh. Yeah, I definitely did not miss that. So the purpose of this is not to whine, but to just keep it real and legit. And I'll let you know how it's going, because there's some really wonderful changes I'm going to implement in my life soon. And I'm excited. But everything in due course, in due time. So this is a ramble, but I may not even post this. I'm just, for anyone who wonders how it is to go back to reality. That's how it is, at least for me. Bye.